Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a very bittersweet story to share with you. The story of a silver lining, that being a victim of the stolen ultrasound, responding to fans after finding out how much money was raised for her son's 9th birthday. Okay, maybe you've been following the Bachelor Clayton paternity scandal. Maybe you already know this story, but maybe you don't. I'm going to share it with you in its entirety to show you the madness that led to you as an audience doing such great charity work for a stranger. And really probably changing the trajectory of somebody's birthday, if not, their life, really, because small good deeds add up in exponential ways, right? So the mom of the ultrasound that was stolen thanks supporters. Here's where we have to be very delicate in this conversation. The ultrasound I'm going to show you guys is an ultrasound that was stolen from an innocent victim who posted a blog about losing one of her twins in what was called the vanishing twin syndrome, which is a miscarriage, which is a trigger warning for this episode. That happened 9 years ago, 9+ years ago. But she only found out about it recently when the story of Laura Owens, the woman who accused Clayton of being the father of her unborn twins, in a separate story. Again, she's claimed twins multiple times with different men. Her history, Laura Owens, has been unearthed by an audience that is hell-bent on finding justice, not hell-bent on destroying her, not hell-bent on making her life a mockery, hell-bent on finding the justice in a situation so minute to the greater media that no one's ever looked into this before. And that's really what the internet's all about, right? Looking into things that the mainstream media doesn't have time to. They're worried about who's going to be president and who's going to this and that. This is this story of a justice that has been found thanks to the internet, when justice at the time wasn't found thanks to the judicial system. So Laura Owens was able to pretty much run through family court, make wild accusations, and get restraining orders against multiple men, 3 that we know of. And now, as we find out the truth, we're righting her wrongs, and we've raised a ton of money for a special 9th birthday. Now, how does the 9th birthday lead up to this? Well, you have to kind of go backwards and understand what initially happened. So the 9th birthday is kind of the reason, it was the inspiration for how can we give back to this lady who asked for none of this. And so we're going to get into that. But first, we have to go back to the insane levels of evidence that we have that showed the sort of abuse of and weaponization of a fraudulent pregnancy. This was sent from Laura Owens to Greg Gillespie, August 6, 2021. These are actual video grabs of the text messages that was sent. Looks like you're going to be a dad to 1 or 2 babies, was sick enough to go to the clinic this afternoon and had to get an ultrasound to make sure I wasn't having an ectopic pregnancy. I wasn't. I found out that I've been pregnant with twins. Looks like one of them passed or isn't doing well, probably because of the medicine I took. I had the option of a surgical abortion and elected not to. If I'm going through this on my own, I will let God decide if he wants both, one or none, to be born, and the kids would deserve to know their father's side of the family. I'm giving you one more shot to admit you were overwhelmed and panicked and apologize. Otherwise, you are not getting any input going forward. Your behavior is appalling, coercing me to get an abortion for your own personal agenda, and I will escalate this if I don't hear back from you. So what she's responding to is the fact that she said to Greg, I'll get an abortion if you date me. And Greg said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then he ghosted her once she claims to have gotten the abortion. So now that she got this quasi or fake abortion, she's showing the evidence, which again, this is right here, the stolen ultrasound. We'll have more on that in a second. But she put her name on it and added her details and all these things that are patently not true. And maybe she used Adobe Acrobat. We don't know, right? She said, I still want to believe that you're the guy who wanted a fresh start with me and to go to Sedona. So she says all these things and says, I'll do the abortion today if you were supporting me. So she's so flippantly, and again, it's just, I've covered this ad nauseum, and it's so disgusting to see how flippantly she discusses toying with someone's life. so much so just to weaponize that to get a guy to date her. And he's like, he's questioning this and whatnot. And she calls him at this point and says, here it is. This is it. Now, I'm going to share the audio of this to show you that this is her ultrasound, or at least she was claiming it was hers. This is from Sam, the alias we've given to the lady who is the victim here. So when we go to, now just give me a second here, and again, we have all this information because Good Samaritans knew that what was happening was wrong, and they knew they could right that wrong by acquiring the information. Now, sadly, it took 3 years for this story to come out because it didn't happen to a bachelor. It just happened to, a random guy, and either no one wanted to believe him or there wasn't enough public interest to seek the truth. Here's the audio, and I'm going to play this while I show you again the video screen grab of Laura lying to Greg Gillespie.
Greg, I'm serious that I would do a paternity test at 8 weeks. I'm not kidding you.
That's cool.
I don't deserve this. I deserve you to keep your...
So wait, why didn't you answer the question about the photo online?
I did. What did you want me to say?
Why is it...
So that he is referring to this, which is a reverse Google image search he did that led him to a blog on blogspot.com called I Still Believe Vanishing. And I think it said vanishing twin syndrome. So he pulls this up and shows her like, hey, that's the same ultrasound you sent me, and showed all of the things and this and that. And she showed her P test that she took and, whatever. But she didn't respond to this blog. Now, this is the blog right here, right? This is a blog he's got in his screen grabs. Vanishing twin, something most people have never heard of and something even less people experience. Now I can add that to my list of losses. At 5 weeks pregnant, I went to the doctor so he could do blood work to check my progesterone and HCG. And again, she goes on this story, January 12th, 2015. It's titled, I Still Believe, Our Story and Journey After the Stillbirth of Our Son and Our Faith in the Lord. So this is what he sends to her. Greg Gillespie confronts Laura and says, I've got this image in a blog. It's right here. This is the image. He shows her the exact image right here. So this was the image, right? And the one that she has, which we'll get to, is slightly different, but it matches up in reverse Google searching. It's slightly different to the extent that there was something very seriously wrong and that was added to it.
Your photo.
It's not my photo.
Why not? Wait, didn't you find it peculiar how similar it looks?
No, I don't find anything peculiar with an ultrasound photo. They all look the same.
They do?
All ultrasounds look virtually the same. I don't find anything weird with that.
You have experience in this?
With ultrasound?
Yeah.
So she sounds hysterical. All ultrasounds look the same. Are you kidding me? So what did we do? Of course, we showed the fake on the left, which is hers, and the real one on the right from 2015. The only issue is, and what we learned, is how sinister and how dumb Laura was for not even taking the logo off of the fake ultrasound that she had. So we're going to get into that right now, and I'm just going to share with you guys the moment Megan Fox and I discovered that if you zoom into the photo, right, we have the photo right here. If you zoom into this photo, you notice, of course, what we all know now, which is this blob initially was very strange. I didn't know what this blob was. It was something that was different from the version on the right to the version on the left. And of course, when you zoom in on that blob, you see a logo right there, which we noticed live on our stream. What are we seeing here? What's this? HEVN? Is this are you seeing this? I'm literally... I can't... So I said HEVN. I couldn't understand what it said. And then, of course, we figured it out right here.
It says Fiverr.
It says Fiverr. Hold on. And it's at that moment we find out it says Fiverr. Now, we're not laughing to make a mockery of the ultrasound. We're put in this position because Laura Owens didn't remove the logo correctly from, I guess, where she got the ultrasound, right? My guess is this said Fiverr in a much bigger way. It had a watermark, a time, a watermark here to keep people from ripping it off. There are tools that remove watermarks, but of course those tools, when used, will, you can obviously see that the logo still remains. So anyhow, I bring that all up to say this was tragic, right? This was absolutely ridiculous. Well, what happened next was very interesting. I got an email, I don't know, a couple month or two ago from Sam, the lady here, who had this stolen from her. And she said, I can't believe someone would steal my ultrasound from one of the hardest times in my life and use it to really just weaponize a guy. I mean, use it so frivolously. It's not, and again, there's no right reason to steal an ultrasound, but it's not like it was stolen because I needed an ultrasound to prove this to get the medicine I needed. No, it was stolen for sinister purposes. So here's more text messages from Laura. If you bullshitted me to kill human lives for your own selfish and cowardly benefit, I will make sure that the law makes you pay the consequences for your actions because they are completely inexcusable. I'm not the crazy one for believing you lied to me. You would be a domestic abuser of the worst type for that level of manipulation. If that's who you are, the civil lawsuit stands as it's already been filed. I will file for a criminal lawsuit for your actions against unborn children. I will have the court order you to take a DNA test, keep the child if it survives, and raise it in a great environment and put child support on you, and you will pay for medical expenses if there's a deformity. Don't you dare act like I'm desperate and crazy for believing your word. Holy hell. So I bring all of this up to say we learn that this is all a lie. We learned that she stole this in one way or another. We still don't know how. Did she hire someone on Fiverr and then remove the Fiverr stamp? Why would she do that? She didn't pay the guy? Or did she just find the ultrasound? And so it doesn't matter because the effect is that someone had to relive a very dark moment in their life. So, of course, that brings us to what we make here, which is a happy birthday to the special 9-year-old. Her surviving son, that I learned through corresponding with her, has a birthday end of July. I won't say the exact date. It's coming up soon. And I thought, boy, if there's anything we can do, it is we can harness and parlay the energy we have from good people that have been accused of being parts of a cult, good people that have been accused of being vicious and this and that, but good people nonetheless. And I've said to myself, dang, I know my audience. We do a charity for single moms for Christmas every year. We really enjoy the work we can do specifically for people. Like, yeah, it's nice to donate to the Red Cross and things like that. Everyone should, donate wherever you want to, donate, but to donate to people where we can see tangible results with the single mom's wish list. We see mid-December Amazon boxes piled up at people's doors. That's great use of humanity. So our goal is only $2,500, but as you can see on Monday, we got some charitable donations during our live stream that really, really made you feel a certain way. Have a watch. All right, we're at $2,200. Let's refresh. $3,153. Are you kidding me right now? Oh my gosh. Are you? So anyway, we do a whole breaking news bit. Ladies and gentlemen of Bachelor Nation, we have a breaking news update live from the Bachelor. All right, so anyway, you get the point. Theatrics are there. We do the update. So I share with Sam, hey, we raised a couple $1,000. She is beside herself. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Then I have to tell her, no, I'm sorry, we didn't raise a couple $1,000. We doubled that. And as of right now, by the way, you can still donate. It's still open. I'm going to keep it open here, but you can still donate. It's at $36.68. So I get an email from her. And that's what takes us to today. Sorry, it took me 14 minutes to get to that point, but I get an email from her and wanted to share it with you. Thank you. And she sent me an email telling me some personal things. And then she said, can you share this with your audience? And that's what I'm sharing with you right now. I shared this with Patreon yesterday. I was a leaky faucet. I was cutting onions. It's tough to get through. Okay. Thank you all so much. Though thank you doesn't seem like enough. I wanted to let you all know of my gratitude for your incredible generosity in giving for my son's 9th birthday. Your kindness has touched our hearts in ways that words cannot fully capture. After discovering my ultrasound was stolen and misused, it brought up a lot of emotions that I can barely give words to. That ultrasound photo of our twins is a precious memory of them. The one we joyfully anticipate celebrating his 9th birthday, and the other we heartbreakingly lost. The theft and misuse of this photo reopened deep wounds, causing immense pain and grief. In the midst of this, Dave and each of you have shown us that there is still so much light and goodness in the world. Your selfless acts of kindness and support have transformed this difficult time into one with a beautiful silver lining. Knowing that so many care about our son and that there are so many good people in the world has been a source of immense comfort and hope. Because of your generosity, we are able to plan a super fun family vacation to celebrate our son's 9th birthday. While he hasn't decided exactly what yet, he is extremely excited. This gift has brought so much joy to our family and is a beacon of positivity during a tough period. We are in absolute shock. Please know that your kindness has made a lasting impact on our lives. While there are no words that can fully express our thanks, I want you to know how deeply grateful we are. Our son will have the best birthday this year, filled with love, happiness, and unforgettable memories, all thanks to you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Guys, we don't always get to see the result of our actions. We don't always get to see good deeds play out. But today we do. So I responded and said, hey, actually, it's a little bit more than that. Sorry, it's a couple extra bucks. We'll pay for the baggage fees at the flight, whatever. So, the goal of $2,500 is boosted up to $3,700, essentially. But then she got to see all of the donations. And, this website, Give, Send, Go, I don't know much about it. It was recommended by Megan Fox, actually, because it's less likely that you could get this taken down. I guess we were worried that Laura would maybe have a GoFundMe taken down or something like that. So we use this. But there are ways where, like, whether you donate or not, you can send a prayer request. And hey, say what you want about prayers, but positive words from strangers, never a bad thing. So I will post this email I just shared with you as the update on this page. I will leave it up. And if folks want to donate that didn't get around to it yet, just know that's going to go to maybe some churros at Disney World. I don't know what it's going to go to. So she responded after I told her, hey, sorry, it's a little bit extra money than we imagined. She said, oh my gosh, I am in complete shock. God bless you and your family. Truly, I have no words. And I explained to her that, I kind of get how tough this whole situation is because we were sued and then, unsued. She dropped her suit against me and she tried to, she's threatened me. I explained all that. And she said, that is absolute madness that she sued you. And especially during your wife's pregnancy. What a terrible stressor. I explained, hey, I've never tried to speak too much publicly about the stress that's put on my wife because that's what Laura wanted, right? That's what terrorism wants. It wants terror. It wants senseless terror. It wants to mess people's days up. And I wasn't trying to give her that satisfaction. But the truth is, it was a very challenging time. It bonded my wife and I closer than we could have ever imagined. And we, of course, are so much in love with our beautiful baby boy. And I'm probably extra emotional, having just had a son. So, it's hard. Like, how do you cover a story like this? You'd have to be a monster when you dive into this story. You'd have to be a monster to not feel a certain way. I am not surprised that Laura Owens has been recommended to the county prosecutors for all of the crimes she has committed. This didn't even make the file for the Clayton Eckerd case, because this was the guy before Clayton. But rest assured, I mean, Sam, this lady here, is kind. But that whole saying, like, don't mistake kindness for weakness. I mean, let me say this right now. Laura Owens fucked with the wrong lady, okay? Let me tell you right now. Sam is tough. She's a great mom. And I'm sure she would go to the ends of the earth to make sure, and I don't want to speak for her, but I'm sure that she would make sure justice is served. She then continues, I just read the words people have written on the fundraiser, and I'm in tears. So much beautiful love. I'm deeply touched. I couldn't say it better myself. So we'll let Sam have the final word. Link in the comment section if you want to still donate to her son's fundraiser. Throw him a hell of a birthday. So much beautiful love.